Hey, beautiful people. Christy here with Christy Mims Real Estate. Y'all, this hair is a mess. I need to wash my hair today. Anywho, I am just wanting to jump on for a few minutes. I've had several people who have been calling recently. Folks who are thinking about buying, not really sure whether now is a good time to buy. And they've been asking me, what's the market going? What's happening with the market? What are home sales doing, Christy? Are sales going up? Are prices still going up? Are they coming back down? There's a lot going on. The market is definitely shifting, right? We are no longer in a seller's market like we were in the previous couple years. People aren't offering over list price really anymore. Unless, it's just the price is just super fair. People are not buying at the rate that they were because interest rates have risen. And because interest rates have continuously gone up, it has caused people to have a little bit of pause about potentially wanting to purchase a home if there isn't a good reason, like, they're moving, downsizing, upsizing, whatever. So for people like first-time home buyers, things like that, I've been seeing that remain pretty steady for me, only because I really do participate in a lot of first-time home buyer programs. So when you have the incentive of getting, a good lump sum of money up front to help you purchase a home, then those sales really aren't slowing down. Those keep on rolling. But for just the traditional buyers just trying to take advantage of market opportunities and things like that, the market has definitely slowed down. So I've been doing a little bit of research, and I just want to share some information with you. So single family homes definitely have fallen. In the past 12 months, they're at their lowest level since 2019. And y'all forgive me because I took some notes that I just put on my computer. But since July 2019, home sales are steadily kind of going down. We saw them zoom up after COVID, right? When interest rates went down to 2%, we saw those historical lows. Of course, there was buying frenzies happening. But in the past 12 months, that has completely come to a halt. Like, we saw everything go up and now it's just dipping down. So it's almost nosediving. So what has happened is interest rates have gone up to like 8% in some areas. I think there's like an average right now of like 7.59%, which, you hear that and you think that's an astronomical number if you have not purchased a home in the last 10, 15 years, right? But when you think about, going back when the housing bubble happened, right? Interest rates were not at 2%. Like, nobody was getting those types of rates. That's not why the bubble bursted. The bubble bursted because people were getting all these ARM loans, and they were properties that they really couldn't afford. So when the interest rates adjusted on those ARMs, they were priced out of their own homes. They could no longer afford them. And those were kind of being given out like candy, right? Those ARM loans. So a person who was making $50,000 a year was able to get in to a home that was, $300,000-$400,000, and they really couldn't afford that home. So once the interest rate adjusted, they were no longer able to afford it once the property taxes were put in, and homeowners insurance, things like that get added into your mortgage payment. So that's why the bubble burst in the early 2000s. Here we are now, post-pandemic, we saw these historically low interest rates. Like, in my lifetime, I've never seen a 2% interest rate ever in my life until after COVID, right? And so the goal at that time was to get people to start buying. They did not want the economy to slow down because it had come to a screeching halt. People weren't buying. People were not taking advantage. So the interest rates came down to encourage people to buy. Well, now they're doing the exact opposite. Now they want people to kind of slow down on the buys, right? They want you to only buy if it's right for you to buy, not because you're trying to take advantage of a super low interest rate and you're just trying to get in on the deal. So the goal is to slow down. This is just economics 101, right? Inflation. The goal is to slow down the spending, and they have done that by the interest rates steadily increasing. They have accomplished that goal. So now what we're seeing happen is pricing is stabilizing. The price of homes is stabilizing, whereas they were steadily going up. Homes were appreciating hand over foot over the past 2 years. Now those prices are stabilizing, and in some instances, they're actually even coming down. So you might have someone who purchased a home last year. Their home may be worth a little less now than what it was when they purchased the home, right? Because the appreciation is not there. But that's normal. That is not it is not normal for a home to appreciate, $30, $40, $50,000 in a year. It's just not normal. If you are in a early development community, maybe you could see something like that. Like if you get in a newly developed area and, they start building around you and your property value increases, that's when you'll normally see that type of appreciation. But just in general, you don't see homes appreciate in the way that they did over the past couple of years because there was such a buying frenzy happening. So now that the buying has slowed down, the pricing has kind of stabilized. So it's, depends on which side of the coin that you're on. If you're looking to buy, it's good because there's not a whole lot of competition out there. If you put in a fair offer on a property, you're probably going to get your offer accepted, right? We're gone are the days of the 10, 15, 20 offers on a property. We're not seeing those. Properties are sitting on the market a little longer. On average, I'm seeing properties sitting on the market for like up to 30 to 60 days before they get list price offers. Now they're getting offers, but they're getting offers from those wholesalers that are trying to, get your property for pennies on a dollar. So agents are being more creative in the way that they're marketing properties today. That you can't just put a house on the MLS and think, oh, it'll sell. And that's what some people are doing, but it's not a strategy that's going to work well for that seller or that realtor, right? So anyway, I digress. Over the past, let's say 15 months, from July of 2022 to current, to let's say September of 2023, we have seen kind of that downturn in the sales. So total sales in the Houston area were at 79,766 sales in the 12 months ending September of 2023. So that's almost 15,000 homes less than the same time in 2022. Now we understand why, right? Because again, that buying frenzy has ended. We don't have that onslaught of people coming to take advantage of the competitive pricing here from other places like New York, California, stuff like that. That buying frenzy has kind of stabilized. Interest rates have gone up, so our local buyers aren't really buying the same way that they were. There's just not a lot of incentive for people to want to buy unless they just really need to. It's that time. It's something that they've been saving to do. It's already been kind of in their plan to buy. Those are the folks that are still buying. But the people who are just like, ooh, you know what? Now's a good time to buy a house. Let me do it. And they weren't really thinking about it. It wasn't in their long-term plan to do it right now. Those folks are not buying right now. So we're down 2.2% from September of last year in regards to pricing. So the median price for a single family home in December was like in September was like $333,000. Last year, from where it was last year, it's gone down like 2.2%. So from a trending perspective, it looks like housing values are stabilizing. Like we're not going to see those increases of appreciation within a year or two the way we did from 2019 to 2022. We're just not going to see that anymore. Another thing is the average interest rate has risen from 7.49 to 7.49% as of October, whereas it was 6.6% in October of last year. So we've gone up a good percentage. And it was at 2.9% in October of 2021. So from October of 2021 to October of 2023, we have gone up from 2.99% interest rate to 7.49%. That's a pretty big jump, right? So it's perfectly sane to think that housing is going to slow down. Does this mean there's a bubble burst coming? No, there is no bubble to burst. People are able to afford the homes that they're in today. ARM mortgages are just not as popular as they were in the early 2000s when the bubble burst in 2008, whatever that was. It's just not going to happen. There is no bubble to burst. Everybody can afford the homes. There's been regulation that's been put in place since the bubble burst, since that whole mortgage crisis happened. Regulation has been put in place to make sure that homes are affordable for people. The amount of adjustable rate mortgages that you see around the country just aren't the same. People prefer a fixed rate 30 or 15-year fixed rate mortgage. So when that happens, the only adjustment is really in your property taxes, or maybe if your homeowner's insurance goes up a little bit, but your actual mortgage rate is stabilized for 30 years or 15 years. So you don't have to worry about being kind of priced out of your own home again the way that you did with an ARM back in the early 2000s. So put that to rest. There is no bubble to burst. If you're out here waiting on, to see this plethora of foreclosures to happen or things like that, it's not going to happen. Yes, people, their homes are sitting on the market longer, but people aren't selling because they can't afford their homes. They're selling because either they want to downsize, upsize, or they just want a newer home, whatever the situation may be. There is no bubble that's going to burst. So if that's what you've been waiting on, put that aside. Maybe now is not the right time for you to purchase a home. If you're trying to wholesale, it's a little bit more difficult now. People are not accepting pennies on the dollar for their homes anymore. They understand the value of their homes these days. Unless someone is just in a pickle, maybe they've lost their job, maybe they inherited property and they just don't want that property. And they're looking to get rid of it, then there may be some options there for you. But just to think that you're going to get pennies on a dollar on a home anymore so that you can, flip it really quickly, that market is pretty much done. There's people, they have too much access to information, albeit all of it is not accurate information, but they go out on Zillow, they look at that Zestimate that Zillow gives them that tells them their $200,000 house is worth $300,000. So they're not going to sell it to you for $100,000 because they're already thinking their house is worth more than what it is. So they're certainly not going to accept pennies on the dollar from what it's actually worth. So you can put that out of your mind too if you're thinking of becoming a wholesaler or something in this current market. It's just not going to work. Now, if you are looking to purchase a home, now is an actual great time to purchase. And the reason why I say it's a good time to purchase, if you're somebody who this has been your goal, it's what you've been wanting to do, and now you've got the credit, you've got a little savings, things like that, now's really a good time to purchase because, like I said, there is no competition. You're able to go out, put in a fair offer on a home, and get seller concessions, get repairs done. You're able to get those things because people who were buying these houses last year and the year before, they were not able to get those perks for the most part. Some people could, but for the most part, it wasn't a general practice that was happening because there were a plethora of other buyers out there. They didn't have to concede any money towards closing costs. They didn't have to make the same level of repairs. They didn't have to make sure that their house had a brand new roof or, things like that. Now, these sellers have to do these things in order to sell their home. So it works to your advantage as a buyer in today's market. So just a few things to think about. Couple of things. 100% financing is back. I have started working with a lender who is offering 100% financing with no private mortgage insurance. 640 or above FICO score is a requirement. So if you are looking to buy and you want to kind of offset that rising interest rate with the option of not having a down payment requirement, give me a call. I've got a great solution for you. If you are a first-time home buyer who is a low to moderate income individual and you're thinking you need some down payment assistance, you want to take advantage of some local county or city programs, I have been spending the past few months schooling myself on some programs that are out there and some options that are out there, and there are some great options out there for you. If you have a credit score of at least a 640, I would say probably a 660 just to be safe, because some of these programs do have a little bit of a higher credit requirement. So I would say just 660 FICO score to be safe. Have income from a job, not necessarily fixed income like from SSI or retirement or something like that, a job income, because that's what some of these programs do require. And you have, paid down your debt as much as you can, and you think now's a good time for you to purchase a home and you want it to be affordable, I'm your girl. I've got you covered. Like I said, I've been educating myself on this, and I have so many options for you. So give me a call. Anywho, I hope you are all enjoying your Saturday. I hope a little bit of this information has been helpful for you. I'm going to try to jump on at least once a week now, like I used to when I kind of first started doing real estate. I used to give market updates and things like that. I'm going to try to jump on a little bit more often and give you guys more information. But for now, this is what I have for you. Hope it's helped just a tad. Give me a call. I'll put my number in the comments section below. So I look forward to hearing from you soon if you do have any real estate needs. Bye.